scaling for this video, but as usual, I will be restricting how much I refer to him because, as you can see, we will also be getting a Fujinot video in the nearest future. Now, as the comic starts, which is flash forward comic, which you all have to just read because this is a wonderfully written comic by Scott Lobdell. We see the one of many going by the name or the names Tempest Fujinot, who basically guards the time stream of the local multiverse, and even arguably the higher multiverses, in which you will know in the Fujinot video. And as we go on in this, you should be able to link some things. We see this dark infinite energy continually flowing and corrupting the healthy worlds in which it's coming from a place of eternal darkness, brought up a lot within the past 5 to 4 years and even way back in Swamp Thing Volume 2. This has been briefed in my Hecate video, which you should check out, as well as many more videos to come. This is known as the Dark Multiverse. Like I said, there are a lot of videos I have planned to scale characters which have something to do with this intriguing part of DC. We see Fujinot look for a hero who would be best suited to end this because he can't do it on his own despite having the power to do so for weird reasons we might figure out as we advance. We see Wally in a villain's type of jail, in which all he does is blame himself consistently for his failure because of the events that took place in Heroes in Crisis, which I won't bring up, but go read it. He did kill heroes at their weakest by losing control of himself. We get another very interesting concept added to this story, which is the Mobius Chair, and we will briefly touch its debut in this story as we see Owlman tries claiming or taming the chair for his benefit, as only Metron, who actually understood the workings and nature of it, could make use of it, as no one knows, and except arguably Batman, and no one knows that the chair owns you and not the other way around, as Owlman dies straight up from infinite cosmic truth and knowledge entering him, and that's just very little considering how long it took for him to die, which was like in one panel. From little, and we will know why it is little that it killed Owlman as we move on. We see Fujinot meets up with Wally, and just the disturbance of the multiverse has caused even his immortal body to take damage. He explains to Wally that the multiverse is corroding via high entropy by the dark multiverse, but Wally, being depressed, can't forgive himself and refuses to save the cosmos. Then Fujinot forces his power to him, and Wally got even a lot more stronger and faster. Wally starts his journey and travels to the first multiverse out of the 52, in which one has an infinite amount of universes with infinite dimensional constructs. Wally isn't even aware of what the number of universes he's in within that multiverse out of the 52. But as he enters, he meets a Superman that was the president fighting to save his planet at the verge of death. Wally then saves him and heals him from an entity of the dark multiverse, which creates nightmares, or is the multiversal concept of higher dimensional nightmares for each tier and beyond if the light multiverse. Wally uses a staff given to him by Tempest to get rid of the fragments across worlds caused by the dark multiverse eating the light realities. President Superman speaks on the events that took place while he was in a flight which he fell to the ground canyon, as he felt the corrosiveness of this dark matter that threatened worlds, which he regrouped for his Justice League Association team, and he talks about their fate to not stop to not stopping the dark matter on the planet, then they would die. This then triggers Wally's memories and he heals the president, runs off for the location of the tear in space between the worlds to seal it off. But Tempest tells him that the world is a lost cause, but Wally isn't stopping as he gets attacked by other heroes and villains as this unconscious happiness rose within him as he saved the world while he was having fun blitzing everyone before they know what's going on. As Wally races on to the next multiverse, little did he know his fate ahead, which Fujinot didn't see fit to disclose it yet to him, or to tell him. He reaches a Gotham City where heroes were vampires, and now if you guys look up, you see that green arrow thing in the sky? Well, it is the same thing that shows up in Justice League Dark when Hecate came, as well as the other kind, and it was affecting the green of that multiverse or universe of the multiverse. Actually, the green, which has something to do with the Swamp Thing and one of the Sisters of Witch. Like I said, this has something to do with the other kind, of course, referring to all the dark multiverse, which follows a consistent narrative leading up to somewhere no one knows exactly, but it is very intriguing to my delight. Tempest gave Wally so much amp that he was able to body slam Ultraman, which is so impressive because Ultraman plus normal post-crisis Prime Earth Superman makes up Cosmic Armor Superman, but with severe amps of platonic and false platonic concepts, which Wally did say would be suicide to try these on his Earth, but with the amp he got, he could do things singularly simultaneously, and was flexing on Ultraman so bad that he said he can make the next 100,000 punches into one. But on the other hand, he met his match, which is the legendary speedster known as Barry Allen. They fought, but Wally gets the help of his best friend Roy, who helped him with the defeat of the Flash and Batman. Despite all these being alternate realities, there was still people he knew and loved, which hurt him a lot, making him take this mission a lot more serious. As every reality he encounters, the sadness and joy increases. As Wally reaches his next stop, he thinks of the life he once had with his 2 children and wife Linda, in which the previous incidents triggered as he moved to this world where he is grabbed by one of the least persons anyone would want to grab them, which is Etrigan. He tries explaining to the demon, but no time. He then phases through, reaching out for the staff, but another speedster gets a hold of it, called Lightspeed, and behold, it is Linda from another reality, in which Wally gets so excited, nearly kissing and hugging her, which she Tootsie slides him. You guys go check Tootsie Slide by Drake. But they start to race across the world and could feel this unknown intimacy. At least it was most curious to Lightspeed, but she saw his memories, in which she then understood his pain and somewhat fell on the crush side of things as they absorb the dark matter, and afterwards she kisses him. But this feeling is something Wally missed, despite it not being Linda herself. Gave him this satisfaction he had been seeking for months. And then the final and greatest threat yet to him, the ones he killed unintentionally, while facing such trauma just by seeing the statues of them. Joy came running to him, which were his children, namely Jai and Iris. His children are so frightened they tell him to run while they hold him tightly. He shares his speed to them and they follow his lead, but the dark matter caught up. He tries to absorb or seal this in, but it fails. Keeps on remembering these vague lucid dreams, which feels like reality about to happen, but yet it isn't, but it is. Attacks Fujinot, but Fujinot doesn't react. He runs so many times in an instant try saving the planet by absorbing the dark matter, but it doesn't go. And then the Mobius chair stops him. Wally reaches out to the chair, and the chair accepts him immediately without even wanting him to sit. It shows him what even Fuginot couldn't see, what his problems were, and then Wally understood he needed to just accept reality as it be. As we have seen, and I have tried breaking down since the start of this video, Wally losing his family, his friends dying because of him, made him so traumatized that his fears worked on a multiversal scale of timelines and infinite possibilities, in which he needed to destroy one planet that would have affected an infinite amount in the 52 multiverses, which has been hinted within the entire narrative from the start. He had to let go his earthly tethers. In the long run, this would play a huge part with all these comics, because basically, as far as we know, Wally is the cause of the dark matter across the multiverse, which he needs the infinite knowledge to help heal the entire local multiverse. But the threat difference that the dark multiverse is causing within all these comics varies. As Wally is saving the 52 multiverses, and Wonder Woman is that of Hecate's level. Still, let's move on to see the final scale. He tells Fuginot to take care of his kids, and they should return home safely after everything is fixed, which was fulfilled, but the journey hasn't ended here. As he sits on the Mobius chair, the chair fuses with him and moved faster and gave faster of everything beyond time and space than anyone who had sat on it had gotten from it, which includes Metron, Owlman, and Batman, who died from just little he got, and Batman, who was worthy for quite a while. But as he sits on this chair, he remains indebted to it for eternity, or indebted. He sees every reality, every possibility, event he had pre-seen, and those he never saw. All became one as he connected the puzzles and Fuginot, which is to create the boundary, or is the boundary of the light and the dark multiverse, in which time and space was broken and Wally wanted to fix it, but needed Fuginot to just hold them apart, and as he tried it, something terrible blocked him, which was the Batman who laughs. Now, how powerful is this Wally? Before the Mobius chair with the amp of the Fuginots, he saved the 52 multiverses both metaphorically and physically by stopping his nightmare from destroying it on an infinite scale and using the tool which was made from his will to stop those dark matters. And that tool was given to him by Fuginot, but his will was what was being used actually. As well as running through infinite universes and infinite dimensions alone would be high hyperversal. The Mobius chair alone has outerversal feats, which would be for another day. Now, Wally actually has Dr. Manhattan's power, as well as the likes of the Mobius chair, which just gave him every info he needed while Wally amped it up with his speed, plus the Fuginot's power, and he tried fixing the entire multiverse, which would be high outerversal, possibly beyond even the likes of Hecate, because he's fixing the light multiverse away from the dark multiverse, which would require power beyond the other kind, which would include Upside Down Man, who is relative to Hecate. And having Dr. Manhattan's power alone is outerversal, one of the strongest in comparison to the God Sphere. Basically, the power amps being added up wouldn't get him logically above outerversal hierarchy tiers unless you argue Dr. Manhattan to be high outerversal, which is redundant. But with feats directly shown, he scales one of the strongest like these, even possibly above the likes of Hecate. That's all for today. If you found this video informative, please do to like, share, comment, subscribe, and see y'all next time. Peace.